And welcome to the Night Owl Writers Room with Rich Hosick. That's me. It's been a while, been probably 2 or 3 weeks. Apologize for that. It started off where I just was feeling tired and not motivated, and then depressed. And there's a reason for that I'm going to share with you guys because I've shared it before. It's no big secret. Um, in fact, I have a story on my podcast on the topic. Last weekend was my birthday, and for a long time, it was not just my birthday, it was my brother's birthday too. I had a twin brother, and he passed away almost a year ago now. So this is my first birthday without him. I, I didn't wanna have a birthday. I didn't feel like I deserved to have a birthday. It was a big milestone birthday, and I just said, I'll celebrate it, but I don't wanna make a big deal about it. I don't wanna I can't do that without him. So we had a small family gathering, and if it had been up to me, I probably would have just stayed in bed all day. But fortunately, my other brother got everybody together. They came over, and we had a little celebration because it's okay to celebrate, but it still doesn't feel okay. And they say it gets better. I know. And if you listen to the podcast episode on the Insomniacs, bedtime stories for insomniacs, it's called The Sign. It's the, only true story on my podcast, my fiction podcast, which is a little bit of an oxymoron, but it tells us the story of what actually happened to me the day after he died, and it was an experience that I needed, and that answered a lot of questions for me, and it's the thought of it just keeps me going on those days when I don't wanna go any further. I've talked about my brother's book that I worked on, and I'm gonna be working on some more of his books. He's got 5 more novels that he wrote. Uh, 2 of them are in first draft, so I'll probably do some work with them, but that's gonna be the way I keep him alive for me and hopefully for others who knew him, if they'll indulge me. So, over the last few weeks, I just was, depressed, and I just didn't wanna do anything, and I just wanna go to bed and sleep until I couldn't sleep anymore, and then stay up till I couldn't stay up anymore, and got into that cycle for a little while. Took some time off from work, but can't keep doing that. I've got some book sales coming up. I've got a podcast I need to attend to that hasn't had a new episode in weeks, and so I'm going to be doing all that. Now, the thing that's got me excited about this, and the thing that has got me sort of like back on track here, is I came upon a situation that reminded me of a book I read, called Scrum. Scrum is a process that we use in web development, but it's used all over the place. It's, one of the implementations of agile development. If you guys are in IT, know anything about that, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but basically what it is it's sort of a method of iterating over tasks to help manage them, and the subtitle of the book Scrum is Getting Twice the Work Done in Half the Time. And it's a process that I use in my job in a modified version, and I have used it in my own life as well. Then that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start, putting my life into Scrum, And what does that mean? Well, basically what it is, in its simplest form is it's, like just a to-do list. But what you do with your to-do list is that you, manage it every day. You don't just say, "Okay, here's things on my to-do list," and as you go through, you knock them off. No, you create what we call user stories, and you put them on cards, Post-it notes, whatever you have, maybe it's an electronic version, although I think physical version is better because you can't turn it off. It's always there in front of you. So I'm probably gonna do something like that. Maybe you'll see it behind me. I don't know. We'll see. And you basically convert your tasks to um, what we call a user story. And a user story is not a story about a user. It's just basically describing some sort of functionality. In the world of web development, you describe a piece of functionality that you want to incorporate into your app that has value for the user. But that can be extended to almost anything. It doesn't have to be software. It can be building a house. It can be working in your garden. It can be your life. It can be writing a book. So basically, I will sit down and create a card or a post-it for everything I need to get done. And you put that into your backlog. And your backlog is just it's always growing. It's always sitting there. There's always stuff to pull from it, but it's basically your to-do list. So that's the first stage of it, right? Once it's in the backlog and you decide you're going to start working on it, you move it to the doing slot. I'm doing this right now. And for each of those tasks, you have a little checklist of what we call in the software business acceptance criteria, but it's basically the definition of done, right? What is it going to take to finish this task? So, for example, if I have write a podcast episode called "By the Light of the Moon," then its task is 1, outline story, 2, write story, 3, record story, 4, produce story, 5, post to internet, right? So I've got 5 acceptance criteria that make that get done. And you can also put a time limit on it too. You can do all sorts of different things with this. But you don't want to have more in your doing list than you can manage to do. I think that's another key aspect of it. And sometimes you get so many things that you have to do that you want to do that you get frozen and you're like, don't do anything. And that's happened to me more than once. I get into that mood mode once in a while. And that was part of the reason too, I think, that sort of led to my depression. I've been there before where I just like take on so much and I'm like, I'm gonna fail at all of these things. I'm just gonna fail at them. And so why bother doing it? Why bother trying? The answer to that is because you won't fail at everything. And any success you do is anything you finish is a success. So that's my plan for the rest of the year. And then as you guys know, in January, I am going to be live streaming writing a novel. I am still going to be doing that. So that is I gotta get ready for that. I've got a basic outline for that. I'm gonna try and flesh that out a little bit more before I actually get into that and, have that going. I'm just gonna figure out how I'm gonna do that too. Probably, just do this thing here where I share my screen and then put myself in the corner and talk through it, and you guys can see what I'm writing, and I'll post it online somewhere. So this is gonna be a book I'm gonna sell, but and this is an interesting thing too. I think that people are sometimes afraid of like doing something like this because like someone's going to steal it before I finish it and they're going to put it out first. It's like maybe, maybe they will, but there's nothing that's going to stop them from doing that once you're done with it. I remember when Harry Potter first came out, there was like some ripoff in Russia, it looked just like him and stuff like that. And it was like, wasn't Harry Potter? It was some other name that was very similar like Henry Palmer or something like that. It was just, one of those things that meant to confuse people and try to get them to try to cash in on the whole, craze of the Harry Potter stories, which were it just brilliantly done, but you wonder, it's like, it they're good, but they're not great. It's not an original story, it's the hero's journey. We've all seen this a million times before. Uh, couple original things inside the magic, but for the most part, is very derivative of stuff you've seen before, very derivative of the whole boarding school situation. Just throwing magic in there, right? And it is as entertaining as it is not what I would call, like, one of those once in a lifetime pieces of literature. But it was great, and it was an escape, and it was characters you could relate to, and it was a story that felt familiar but was new, and so that's why it had such great success, I believe. And she just did a wonderful job in taking that, and she wasn't afraid to just write as much as she needed to tell the story. She respect even though it kind of, like, is marketed to young adults, it really doesn't doesn't write down to them. She wrote it with an adult sensibility, I believe, and, so you've got kids reading these 3, 4, 500-page books, which is awesome. It's like the first time you crack open the Fellowship of the Ring, right? So, anyway, um, I guess going back to my live streaming of writing a novel. So, yeah, it's gonna be, Write a Book January, um, be a hashtag I'll be promoting at the time, kind of taken over from, National Novel Writing Month. That as you if you go back into some of my old streams, we talk about that and how that kind of, like, fell apart and became victim to all sorts of scandals. I think when you get something that's too formalized, yeah, you're gonna invite corruption, and it's a shame. It's a shame that that's the way the world is. Once things get too big, it's just they lose their charm for some reason. So I'm gonna keep this to myself. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna try and make it in a movement or anything. It's just gonna be my write a book January. And if it goes well, I'll do it again next January and we'll write a book every year, live stream it. You guys can see the process. You guys can chime in. You guys tell me, give me ideas, whatever you want to do. It's gonna be live streamed on the internet, which is gonna be interesting. We'll see how that goes. I don't know who would wanna watch anything like that, but it's gonna be there, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, so Scrum, gets back to Scrum. So I'm gonna start, tracking things with Scrum. You'll see a board, either next to me or behind me or something like that. I'll come up with the mechanics, the physical aspect of it soon and have that ready to go. And, hopefully that will get me back on track, um, because I need something. I thought just having this live stream would be enough to sort of keep me accountable, and it does. When I wasn't doing it, wasn't writing. When I was doing it, I was writing. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna have this story done tomorrow. Oh, hey, I'm gonna be posting this story on Friday. Oh, hey, I'm gonna have this one recorded, this one recorded." So I've got all these things I wanna do, and, we'll see how that goes. I am probably gonna take some time out this weekend to um, records a book for a friend, um, just to cleanse the palate, do somebody else's stuff for a bit too. But I do have the story. I have finished writing the story for By the Light of the Moon, so I will be recording that. I'm getting that up there soon. If you guys don't remember, that was about the werewolf hunter, and I want to get that one done and get that up. And then I was hoping to have the 10th ride ready to go this month, and I don't. I don't have it done. I don't have it done. I haven't made any progress on Farsight either. So those are two projects I really need to sort of like focus on over the next things. And I'm hoping that the Scrum will get me on track. I'll be able to sort of prioritize different aspects of those projects and get them going. At the same time, I've got a lot of stuff I need to do around my house, and a lot of stuff I need to do at work. And I'm wrapping up a class I'm teaching, but I'll be starting to teach another one in December. So it's like a lot of stuff going on. And I got big shows coming up too. So I'll be probably off the air for a couple nights here and there in November on the weekends. But I'll try to be back here on the weekdays as much as I possibly can and share with you guys what's going on. I don't have a lot of else to do. I just wanted to make sure that I touched base, that I put something out there today and tell you guys why I was gone and that I am back and I have a renewed dedication and vigor for this and a plan. And again, this has been the best tool I think I found to hold myself accountable. So I'm going to be doing this. Oh, and that's the other thing. I started writing a new TV movie with my old writing partner Arnold. And, so I'm gonna be working on that as well. So that's not gonna take too long. We can crank out TV scripts fast. We are very good at writing teleplays quickly. So we'll probably get that done over the next couple of weeks. That was the original plan. And so I'll be talking to you guys about that as well. Maybe I'll show you some work in progress on that. Actually, probably not. Arnold would not like that. So I will I will give you the broad strokes of what I'm doing, but not the story. How about we do that? Okay, good. That's why I won't be able to show you any of it until after it's done. Maybe not even then. We'll see. But my stuff I'm doing by myself, I will be sharing with you guys. So that will be coming up. So I do have to come up with some more stories over the next few weeks. I'm gonna got to get at least one story up every 2 weeks while I'm working on these other things. So that will be happening. But I'm also going to get this other audio project done and packed away before long too. I want to get that out. And yeah, and I need to re-record Dead Kids Club too. I got to get that out so I can put that up on ACX and Find Away Voices. So I will be doing that as well. So a lot of audio projects to do. I I'm hoping I can figure out how to do the simultaneous live stream and recording at good quality. And I think I've got a way to do that. I've got my old laptop computer back, and so I'll see if I can't get that set up, and so you guys can actually see me recording my audiobook. Maybe I'll live stream that too. That'll be kind of fun. All right, but that's it for tonight. Keeping it short, but I will be back tomorrow. I all weekend long. I'll be back here, I believe, too, and so I'll keep you posted on what I'm doing, and we'll talk more about the audiobook process and the podcast process, and I'll keep you updated too on how my scrum is going, and you'll see what that's all about. But I just wanted to get back online tonight and let you guys know, hey, I'm back. I'm gonna keep on going. There will be some off nights when I'm traveling, but other than that, I'm here. And, in January, you're gonna get sick of me because 'cause I'm gonna be on here for several hours a day, writing a novel. Alright. Thanks for checking in, guys. Um, I will see you again soon, and, keep writing.